Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be making strudel, and I have here my handy dandy helper, Isabella.
Hi!
And so let me quickly start talking a little bit about the ingredients that you are all going to need to have with you. First things first, strudel is typically made with apples. So you're going to need 2 Granny Smith apples. You're also going to need 2 ripe peaches, or you can take a can of peaches. We are at this point in the year. We're not at
Prime peach
peach season, exactly. Thank you. So those are some of the fruits that you're going to need. You're also will use go ahead.
A lemon.
And we're going to use the juice and the zest of the lemon. What else do we need?
We need sugar,
so preferably brown sugar. Yeah. What else?
And okay, this is open. One sec. Raspberries.
About a pint of raspberries or something like that.
Some golden raisins. Some butter. How much butter do we need?
We're going to start with 4 tablespoons of butter, but then we're going to need some more when we're putting the dough together. So have about a box of butter with you.
And some flour. Some cinnamon. How much cinnamon?
Just about a tablespoon or something like that. It's not too much.
And
and that's the dough. So we're gonna be cheating a little bit because making the dough for strudel is actually it's kind of hard and it requires a little bit of finesse and knowledge of baking. And so to handle that dough, it becomes very delicate and it's very hard to make it very thin. So what I actually did there, and as you can see, I only took 1 packet out, but we're actually using phyllo dough. And so what I'm going to do is that packet that I took out, it's getting thawed right now. Once it completely thaws, I'm going to brush it with butter and get 2 different rolls out of that. Okay, but that will come later. You will also need a pan and a spoon. You're going to need a baking sheet and some parchment paper. So what I have here is my baking sheet that's already lined with parchment paper. So we can get started now. You're going to need to peel your apples and cut them in little cubes. And the same with your peaches. You're going to take your peaches and cut them in little cubes. All right, and then we're going to start putting everything in the skillet. It should not take an awful lot of time, but you have to make sure that your knife cuts are nice and even and pretty so that the cooking time will be even for all your fruit. Now that we have all of our ingredients chopped the way that they should be chopped, what we're going to do is we're going to light up our stove, and you can keep it at about a 7, so medium to medium high. We're going to stick in our 4 tablespoons, so this is a half stick of butter. We're going to let it melt in there. And the first thing that we are going to add to it is, use your spoon, my love. There you go. So the first thing that we're going to do with it is, that's not your spoon? There you go, a better spoon. We're going to start with the apple. In the meantime, while Isabella is having that apple cooking there and caramelizing, so that will take about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that. This is a microplane. A microplane is actually used to get the zest out of your fruit. If you don't have a microplane, you can use any utensil that you use to grate cheese or carrots or something like that. Not a food processor, because that's going to destroy your fruit. But with that, what we're going to do then, once this is caramelized, we'll add the lemon zest and the lemon juice, and then the other fruits and all. While she's getting all of that ready, I'm going to start getting my measuring utensils, so that I can get my third, I think it's a third of a cup of this, and my sugar and everything else. Okay, so you take it away, Isabella. Go ahead and do that while I get my third cup of raisins. There's my third cup right there. I'm gonna put my raisins in. How's that going, baby?
Well, I just added them in, so I guess it's going well.
That's good. Okay, so I have that there. A teaspoon of cinnamon, not a tablespoon. A tablespoon was a little too much. Here's my teaspoon. Cinnamon. That looks good, baby.
Buttery apples.
I'm just gonna stick it in when it's time for that. What else do I need? Half a cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar. And how much of...
Is it okay for the butter to be bubbling like this?
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. That's the whole point, is going to be cooking things away. Okay, how's that going? So we're gonna let it cook for a little bit. So yeah, so this needs to go for about 5 minutes, and then to this we're going to add the zest and juice of the lemon, and then we're going to add the peaches and the raisins, and finally, when it's almost done, we'll add that's zesty. So what we'll do when we're done with that is we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. I'm just gonna dunk this in there because I like cinnamon. But about 2 teaspoons will be fine. And then half a cup of sugar and half a cup of flour. And the flour, what it'll do is it'll just condense the juices and make them come together. Otherwise, everything will just kind of like splatter out once you put it in your dough. One thing that I forgot that you also need, I completely forgot about that, some sort of jelly, apricot jelly, a peach jelly, something nice like that, okay? Okay, now that our about 5, 6, 7, whatever minutes are done. A few minutes. So it's the fruit is very soft, and in some areas it looks golden. So we're going to take the microplane and the lemon, and we're going to put the zest in there. What?
Save me.
Why? All right. You can also use this for exfoliating your face. Okay. I have everything. I'm gonna go juice this out, and then Isabella, you just keep stirring that. And now you can add, yeah, that was a piece of apple that just fell on the floor. You can add the peaches and the raisins in there. And I'm just gonna reach out and clean that out of your way. So let me see if I can help you out. We have the raisins, so 1/3 of a cup of raisins. We have our peaches in there. If you don't want to do peaches, you can add one more Granny Smith apple, and that should be fine. And about, that should be good, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay, I'm going to put that away. We're going to continue stirring and cooking for a few more minutes. Make sure that you stir it all good so that cinnamon goes and coats everything. You can, well, I was about to jump out.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not very good at this.
But the fact that Isabella is doing it actually means that any of them can also try it and do it as well, right? You might get something nice going in there. Okay, so now that you have that going for a little bit, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar, brown sugar in there. And I'm also going to put in the 1/2 cup of flour right in here. See? Lovely. Okay. Okay. And here comes the 1/2 cup of flour. Keep stirring because you don't want to end up having big lumps, lumpy bumpies. Alright. Yeah. There we go. We're going to lower the heat a little bit, and we're almost done with this.
It's
so now,
sticky.
yeah, can I have it now for a
Yeah.
sec? Okay, so we're gonna do one last solid stir up. Alrighty. Now we have it all nice and coaty and all that. We are going to turn the heat off and add the raspberries.
All at the
All
same
of
time.
them, dump them. There you go, good job. All right, so now what we do, we finish up, stir them a little bit. And we have a nice coat, all mixed up and ready
to go. And that's it. Good job.
All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to start working with the dough. So we're going to open this. One important thing to keep in mind is that phyllo dough dries very quickly, and so you wanna work relatively fast with this. If you look at this, I don't know how many of you have worked with phyllo dough. It's a traditional Greek dough. It's like little sheets of paper. See how thin this is? You see? Very thin sheets of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to take them by two. We're gonna brush them with melted butter, and then we're going to put 2 sheets on top of that and brush them again. Put another 2, brush them again, etc., etc. Okay, and we're going to make 2 rolls with this. So Isabella will have some of those, and I will have some of those. This is for that later. And then what we're going to do, are you embarrassed by me? It's okay, sweetie. All right, so we have that. So we're going to start by grabbing 1, 2 sheets. Oh, there's a bunch here. There we go. 1 and 2. We're gonna put them in there and start brushing them with some butter, and I'm gonna take 2 on this end.
Do I brush the whole thing or
brush the whole thing? And notice that some of them kind of start breaking apart, right? And so we have to be very careful. But we're going to make lots of layers with this, and so we should be fine with that. Another thing that you can also do is put some, like a wet towel, like paper towel or something. These days, paper towels do not come by
real often.
Very often. So what I'm going to do, and that way your dough is not going to dry off, and so while you're painting away and getting things ready, you can cover like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we don't have 2 brushes. What do we do now?
Get a paintbrush.
Maybe I can do that. Okay, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna get them all ready, and then we're going to. So once we're done with the whole thing, then we're going to start filling them up with the stuffing for the strudel. Once you have all your sheets together, the very last layer, you don't need to butter it. So you just keep it the way that it is. We used about 4 to 6 tablespoons of butter. So between 1/2 and 3/4 of a stick, not more than that. But it all depends on how you're painting your dough. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take a spoon and we are going to put some of the stuffing. Right, so what we're going to do, so if you have something like this, what we're going to do is we're going to put the stuffing on one end, and then we're going to roll things up. So we're going to just get one end of the pan or the dough with the strudel. Now it's starting to take shape. Okay, we're going to leave some of the edges undone so that then we can pinch them a little bit. Perfect. And so we're gonna stick some of that in here. I want you to see what I'm doing. Good job, Isabella. I'm gonna get all of that in there. This smells really good. Apple strudel. Let's see. Now I have this left. What is it, babe?
Does this need more?
Yeah, just we're going to put some more in there on the sides. There you go. So that we use it all. Right?
Might as well.
You might as well. There we go. And then this last one, we're going to just stick it in here. Let me show you what we have. Okay. See? This is what it looks like. And what we're going to do now is we are going to roll it up. So we're going to pick, so notice that I did not put all the way on the edges. We have a little bit of open there. So we're going to roll it up and roll it up and roll it up. And sometimes you're going to have to stick your hands in there and pinch some of the things that ended up on the inside. Okay, and what you're going to do is once you have the seam there, just roll it over so that the seam of your strudel ends up facing down. Okay, now we're going to stick our hands a little bit in there and we're going to try and close our strudel the best that we can. There's going to be things coming out of it, and that's all right. Okay, I'm gonna have some of the strudel coming out. Isabella, is that yours? Okay, put it in here. You want me to help you with that? Upsy daisy, there we go. All right, and so we have our two rolls in here. I'm pinching and trying to close up the tops the best that we can. And sticking it in there. Closing up as best as we can. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands for a sec. And then the last step that we're going to do with this is we are going to take a little bit of some jelly, apricot jelly, whatever type of jelly you want. I'm gonna put it in here so that I can squish it in a little and make it more malleable. So that moves out a little. And what we're going to do, you can take the brush for this, or you can just hold it like so and paint your strudel with it.
Like hair gel.
Like hair gel, exactly. Kind of feels gross, but
you don't say.
But our hands are clean, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Excellent, Isabella. That looks beautiful.
So nice. Sort of falling apart, but that's
it
fine.
will start falling apart a few moments, so that's why we need to bring it to the oven. So we're going to take it to the oven, preheat it at 350 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. So once you see that it's golden brown, you can turn off the oven and take it out, let it cool down. And that's it. And just like that, our strudel is done and made. Look how nice it looks, you know. I got a little piece, and now, well, apparently Isabella already started trying it or tasting it. Let's try it and see what we see in here. This is a little bit hard.
It's a little bit difficult to eat.
Okay.
But the struggle is worth it. Once you actually...
I got a piece. It's going. This is good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. Share it with your family. And I'll see you soon.